So I'm going to speak about the hard truths of getting extremely shredded, as I just competed for the first time as a natural bodybuilder, and a lot of things happen post-show, during prep, that I want to speak about that. Not a lot of people speak about the truths of actually getting that shredded and what it entails. So it's a hard process, but let's get into it. So a little background, I competed as a natural junior first-timers bodybuilder at the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation UK versus Joel Davies. A bunch of you must have seen that if you follow him, because he's got quite a big following. I placed 4th place, extremely happy with that. Obviously was gunning for #1, but 4th place, couldn't be happier because it was such an experience, and seeing the people I was against with, 4th place I'll take any day. So I just wanted to go through some of the things of getting extremely shredded that you might not expect. It might put you off to leave it a bit later, maybe try gain a bit more muscle whilst you're young rather than getting lean. And this video isn't also to stop you from competing, because it was the best day of my life regardless. And no matter how hard it was post-show, during prep, all of that, still worth it. Best day of my life to this date. So first off, I want to start with the prep stuff, which I'll keep very short because I spoke about in other videos, but essentially hunger, energy, cardio, training, hormones, sex drive, all those things go all the way down. Hunger goes all the way up, and cravings. With hunger, you are craving stuff. My experience was I would walk through Tesco, through every single aisle, thinking of things to get. Being on prep, you're obviously eating the same things over and over again, so you start to almost forget what it was like to eat beforehand. So I kind of forgot my normal hunger cues, things like that, post-show at least that was. And yeah, like I said, snacks, looking through the McDonald's app, KFC app, that was things I was doing on the daily, just thinking of food. And that's obviously something you shouldn't do, but I got myself into the habit and I just couldn't stop. Energy goes all the way down. Some days I'd wake up knowing I had to do cardio and just get to the point of crying. I could barely move off my sofa during peak week, it was horrible. And yeah, sex drive, hormones down the gutter. Obviously that's as expected when you get down to dangerously low body fat. So I wasn't dangerously low, but I definitely got leaner than the average person, and I would say I was stage lean. And yeah, that was hard hormone wise, because it makes you feel like less of a man sometimes, you know. But it even got to sometimes where during prep, I think 2 weeks out I had, or 3 weeks out, this happened to be for the first time, and then it happened multiple times afterwards. But I would wake up from like a nightmare where I binge ate, and it was just me eating a bunch of food, and I'll wake up and I'll be like panicking, looking around. Then I'll take off my duvet, still see I had abs, realise it was a dream, go back to bed. But that happened multiple times after peak week, and body dysmorphia hits hard. Even though you are feeling extremely lean and you're the leanest you've ever been, you still feel like you're not. Now onto the proper part is post-show. I got 4th place, like I said, came out of the show, felt extremely happy. Had my brother's girlfriend make me these cookies. We bought some cookie dealer, but I didn't have those till later. And I had some like white chocolate brownies with Bueno, Oreo. Ate like half of each of them. I left it, I went to Taco Bell, probably consumed 4,000 calories worth of Taco Bell. Pretty crazy. Was extremely full, but I just couldn't stop. And then I went back home and I thought, you know, I'm gonna chill out because I don't want to lose it. I could already tell I was getting watery. And then I kept going. Went home, went McDonald's, went to the shop, bought loads of crisps, chocolate, could not stop, genuinely. And it got to the point where I was eating so much at home, all of these snacks. I went up and laid in my mum's room. I was in agony. This was the same day of the show, and it hurt to move. My mum's like, you know, and I still wanted to eat, by the way, even though I was very, very full. And my mum was like, maybe just go for a walk, get some digestion. So I was like, yeah, that would be a good idea. So I started walking, felt better. But because I felt better, it meant I could eat more. So I'd walk to Tesco, buy more food, come back, eat. Then I'd be in pain again, but then I'd fall asleep, wake up in the middle of the night, feel better. So I'd eat more, and I probably consumed upwards of 10,000 calories that day. Woke up feeling watery, and I was up maybe 3 kilos from stage weight. I did check-ins, and I thought I looked extremely fat, is the only way I could put it. But looking back at the photos now, I wasn't. I was just slightly watery. I still looked dry, still had my abs, still had all my striations, all the cuts. But I thought I looked fat. I was like, what have I done? I was like, oh, it's too late. Let's just carry on. Next day, exact same thing. Ate awful. Next day. So 3 days post-show, I went crazy. I felt like the next day I was going to be back on prep. So I just pounded everything as much as I could. 4 days post-show, I was going to America. I got to LA first stop. I still wasn't that bad damage. I was maybe 75 kilos, so up like 5.5 kilos. and I just kept eating and eating and eating buffets, in and out, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, I could not stop. And the breakfast buffets, I just ate a lot, to the point where I was walking around so full it hurt. We went to Universal and my stomach was in agony. We were going on all these rides and I was in pain, but I just wanted more and more and more. I knew things were getting bad because I was losing my confidence, I was gaining a lot of weight, my face was blowing up, I couldn't even look at my face, let alone my body. And I was still trying to train, I was still doing a lot of steps because obviously we're in America. And then around 5 days in LA, we flew to Las Vegas. First 3 days of Las Vegas, exactly the same. Went insane, had a lot of food, and then things started turning for the worse, you could say, where my spots started going crazy. My face was so blown up, don't get me wrong, it still is blown up now, but it's not as bad as it was. Because obviously, I'm not gonna stay with a skeleton prep face for the rest of my life. I'd love to, because it looks pretty cool. But no, this is definitely healthier. And then I developed my first bit of anxiety where I was walking around and by myself, and I thought people were looking at me going like, why is he so fat? No one was looking at me, it was just my brain going insane. I felt so unconfident, literally couldn't look at my face or my body. I was like, what have I done? Scrolling through my camera roll, looking at all the old photos from prep, the check-ins to show day, and I was like, how do I even look like this right now? I didn't want to ruin a holiday for my brother and my dad, so I would, you know, just eat whenever we got, and if I went over, that was that. But I couldn't enjoy the food because I was so self-conscious of what I was eating, all those things, and I felt guilty. I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna wake up feeling rubbish tomorrow, but I'll do it anyway. Did not have the mental willpower to stop, and I know that's down to me. Not all of you are gonna be the same, you'll probably be stronger than me, but I have such a connection to food, and I ruined my relationship over prep for sure. Started doing more cardio, more steps, walking throughout, and I thought I would have been 80 kilos at this point, you know, up 11 kg from stage weight. That's like over 20 pounds or something. We were in around 14, 15 days in America at this point, Las Vegas and Los Angeles. Los Angeles was first, and we were planning to go to New York, but because of some unforeseen circumstances at home, the way that I was feeling, which was a small portion of it, we decided not to go and go New York another time so we could actually enjoy it properly. Now we're back, things are getting better with the home situation. I'm definitely getting better, feeling better mentally. Slightly bulking right now, which feels good, but I came back from America weighing 73 kilos, so I actually lost weight. But normally, at 73 kilos, I am very lean. I have abs popping, not stage lean, but like to the point where on the beach, you're obviously the most lean person, which isn't a healthy point. And then the next day I was even lighter, like 72.6, and I was like, what is going on? So I've been eating around 3.2k calories, relatively healthy, but I chuck in fast food here and there just to enjoy myself. But don't get me wrong, the binge eating is still a massive part of it. Like, I want to eat all the time, but I'm just trying to restrict myself. Going to the doctors to get it checked out, as well as my hormones, because none of that is working at the moment. You know what I mean by that. And hunger, fear of binge eating disorder. I don't want to self-diagnose myself because that just causes a lot of unnecessary fear, but that's something I want to get checked out as well. That is pretty much my experience. I'm just checking my notes if I've missed out on anything. Don't get me wrong, you guys can do better than me, learn from my mistakes, but now the plans are to bulk, compete in 2025 potentially, hopefully get like one day a Natty Pro card, that'd be my goal. But now I just want to push myself in a bulk because I've never bulked properly, and there's a lot of areas I want to bring up. Journey of prep and the show day was the best time of my life, obviously extremely hard, but I'll argue that post-show is harder than actual prep itself. So I'm going to be posting a bulking series, taking inspiration from people like Joe Fazer, Joel Davies, because their videos are sick. Dave trains as well, been watching him a lot. Doing other cool challenges, definitely want to do a 20k challenge, but that's when I fix myself a bit, fix this eating stuff, and go to the doctors, all of that, for hormones, spots, everything, get it sorted. But if you've got any suggestions of what you want to see on the channel, let me know. I'm willing to do anything, because now I'm off prep, got more energy, feeling better. Not 100% yet, but soon. It's been around 21 days, so like 3 weeks post-show. So things are slightly getting better. That's the end of the video. That's my experience of getting extremely lean and my first show. Hopefully it doesn't put a downer on it too much, because there are a lot of pros, but I feel like the cons outweigh it. But the day of the show, nothing beats that. Just because of that day alone, I will be doing it again. So you will see a return of the prep series. Bulking series starts now. Lots of cool new videos. Any ideas, let me know. And I'm gonna go order a Domino's right now. Joking.